The female population takes up about 51% of the world's population. Women make up more than 2/3 of the world's 796 million illiterate people. 14% of girls don't even make it into primary school. In terms of voting, there are still two countries that do not allow women to vote: Saudi Arabia and the Vatican City. But what could have caused these problems today? In this video, we will be taking a look at all of the important factors that play a role in gender inequality in our world today.
Scientists have shown that originally in prehistoric times, women and men were equal for most of our evolutionary history. A study has shown that in contemporary hunter-gatherer tribes, men and women tend to have equal influence on where their group lives and who they live with. It was only with the dawn of agriculture, when people were able to accumulate resources for the first time, that an imbalance emerged. One scientist said that men can start to have several wives and they can have more children than women. It pays for more men to start accumulating resources and become favorable to form alliances with male kin.
There are about 781 million illiterate adults in the world. Of that number, 2/3 are women. From 2000 to 2015, illiteracy rates only dropped 4%. Poor women living outside cities are most likely to be affected by this. For example, 75% of the illiterate population live in parts of Asia and Africa. In West Africa, only 1/4 of women can read. Although the ratio is not as extreme in other areas, women make up more than 50% of the illiterate population everywhere. Since women are not as educated as men, men occupy more positions of power. This continues to give women less opportunities.
Religion has also played a role in the suppression of women. Recent figures have shown that it isn't necessarily the religions that have pushed these issues, but the social context that they are found in, where women are often second-class citizens. Women are prevented from playing a full and equal role in many faiths, creating an environment in which violations against women are justified. The belief that women are inferior beings in the eyes of God gives excuses to the brutal husband who beats his wife, the soldier who rapes a woman, the employer who has a lower pay scale for women employees, or parents who decide to abort a female embryo. The New Testament quotes St. Paul in Timothy 2 as saying that women must be silent. Deuteronomy declares that if a woman does not bleed on her wedding night, the men of her town shall stone her to death. An Orthodox Jewish prayer thanks God who has not made me a woman. The Quran stipulates that a woman shall inherit less than a man, and that a woman's testimony counts for half a man's. Today, when religious institutions exclude women from their hierarchies and rituals, the inevitable implication is that females are inferior. Religious groups should stand up for a simple ethnic principle. Any person's human rights should be sacred and not depend on something as earthly as their genitals.
Modern media plays a huge role in gender inequality in our world today. Every week, teenagers in developed countries spend about 31 hours watching TV, 17 hours listening to music, 3 hours watching movies, and 10 hours online. This means that young boys and girls are constantly gaining good and bad information from media. On TV, girls are often portrayed as sexual objects, worthless, and stupid. This needs to change. Girls on TV are also edited to fit the ideal body type, which is physically impossible. Young boys and girls see images of models who have had hours of makeup and hair products applied and have been photoshopped to fit the ideal body type, which, again, is an impossible goal for teens. When young girls constantly see these models on TV, they feel societal pressures to look like this ideal body type. This is why 53% of 13-year-old girls are unhappy with their bodies. This number goes up to 78% of girls by age 17. 65% of girls have an eating disorder. Modern media also affects young boys because when young boys see images of Photoshop girls, they think that that is what all girls should look like, so they then judge girls' bodies even more than they should. There is so much that humans can do that will change the way modern media portrays women. Men need to stop seeing women as just sexual objects on TV and instead as intelligent human beings that also have a voice, and women need to be educated on their self-worth.
If countries around the globe do not change their mindset on women, violence and sexual harassment will maintain a pressing issue. Sexual assault and rape is already a major problem throughout many countries. It will only increase. Women in developing countries who are unable to go to school or get educated will continue to rely on men for financial support. This means they will not live independent lives and will fail to achieve their dreams and passions. If women continue to be in the shadow of their male successors, the world will not have the new discoveries brought on by women. If we do not educate our upcoming generation about becoming model citizens who break the past norms of gender expectations, the world will stay in the dark ages of sexism.
In 2000, women earned 71 cents per dollar a man makes. Now, women earn 81 cents per dollar. While that is still an unacceptable and unfair wage gap, it is steadily improving. One factor that is helping this is education. Recently, more women have graduated high school, college, and earned graduate degrees than men. This was not true 10 years ago. These women go on to operate businesses that make over $1 trillion a year and employ almost 8 million people. This makes women important participants in the economy.
There are several steps we can take to speed up this process and achieve equal gender equality around the world. We can start small by encouraging girls to go into male-dominated fields such as science and technology. We can also discourage the use of gender-related stereotypes. Women, judges, athletes, and activists are breaking the social norms and inspiring young girls to go after their dreams. Also, we can educate men and women around the world about women's worth. Encouraging men to become the part of the solution is key. Lastly, from the great Joel Parker Rhodes, prejudice is sinful. All blood flows red. And the most harmful and foolish kind of prejudice is prejudice against yourself. Every woman is your sister, and every woman needs her sisters. So try to give other women the courtesy of your compassion, respect, and forgiveness.
Can't you see that it's just raining? There ain't no need to go outside.